executives. He is among the most popular entertainers in the world, and his newest triumph is playing the devil, Mr. Applegate, in Damn Yankees, and he is now the toast of Broadway. And Jerry joins us from the CBS studios in New York after tonight's performance. Jerry, thanks for staying up late, and welcome to CBS, my friend.
Thank you, Tom. It's good to be with you again.
Now, you did a show tonight. You finished at 10:40, and, I mean, aren't you exhausted after every performance?
No, I did 2 shows today.
Wow.
We had a matinee and then the night show.
All the things that you've done over the years in show business, I mean, you truly have been in every kind of venue and every kind of situation. On opening night, right before you made your first entrance, any jitters at all?
Yeah, plenty. The jitters are there. The butterflies were there. The nerves were there. But not as bad as I thought it would be. I think that it was buried by the rush that I had. The rush was incredible. To dream about something for 63 years and then there it is, the nerves take a back seat to that wonderful, that natural high that you have. It's incredible.
You know, before this project began, and when they announced that you were going to be coming in as Mr. Applegate, as the devil in Damn Yankees, there was a great deal of speculation as to whether or not Damn Yankees could survive, whether it had the legs to keep going. You know, they took the show down for, what, 6 weeks during the tough weeks?
2 months.
Yeah, 2 months down. And there were some people on Broadway, Jerry, who were not betting on you. They were betting against you. So you must take some satisfaction in the almost universally great reviews you and this show have gotten.
Well, I take I take deep pride in the fact that the people in the audience are communicating such love and such affection and such warmth that company and I are just fascinated by every new audience that we play to. It's incredible. I was angry Monday because we were dark. There was no show to do. And these young kids in the company are saying, when do you rest? It's my birthday today, by the way. 69. And I'm working with all these young cockers, you know, that have to take Monday off. And at the press conference in January, we were at Sardi's, and one of the newspaper people said to me, how are you going to deal with 8 grueling shows a week? I said, Dean and I played the New York Paramount and did 8 shows a day, 56 a week. In 2 weeks, we did 112 shows, went to the Chicago Theater and did 9 a day for 63 shows. So in 21 days, we did 175 shows. I said, you're talking to me about grueling 8 shows? Yeah. He says, let me remind you, you were 20 years old at the time. I said, that's okay. At 20 years old, I did 175 shows in 21 days. At 69, I can handle 8 a week.
What is different about doing this show as opposed to doing all the concerts that you've done, all the appearances with Dean, all the movies? I mean, you are certainly comfortable in front of audiences. What is different about appearing in a Broadway show?
Well, first of all, you're part of a wonderful story, a beautiful plot, and you're working with an ensemble. You're part of a team. It's the beauty of Tinkers to Everett's to Chance. It's that simple. I have a company of people that are impeccable professional performers, and every range of age in that group. And we have such a marvelous rooting interest for one another to score and have the show score that there's a passion along with the energy that's impossible to define.
In this show, Damn Yankees make, I mean, the plot line here is that the Washington Ball Club hasn't won the pennant in God knows how many years, and it's all the fault of the Damn Yankees, and a deal is made with the devil, played by you, to let the Senators win one, for heaven's sake. Has that plot line been altered in the slightest way to accommodate the fact that baseball is now having a strike and that baseball is in the news?
No, not at all. It has not been compromised. The material is absolutely, we are dedicated to the material. It's been a marvelous show. The strike has had no bearing on the show. We're the only professional game in the country today. There's one line in the show that gets a tremendous laugh when one of the performers, Dick Latessa, says to Terry, who's the owner of the club, he says, one of these days, one of these bonus babies is going to hold us up for money. And Terry says, no, this is baseball, not business. That gets a wonderful laugh. Well, the devil is listening to this, and the devil steps downstage and says, I'm inspired. I just got a wonderful idea for 1994. And they absolutely fall apart. So that's the only reference to what's been going on.
Let me ask you about Jerry's Kids, who we see every year Labor Day on the telethon.
Yeah.
You've been on the air for 27 years. You've raised over $650 million, and yet we still have muscular dystrophy. Do you ever get disappointed or discouraged that a cure hasn't been found, that more progress hasn't been made, that more treatments aren't available?
No, we have made the greatest inroads in the history of medical science. In the last 5 years, the DNA and the genetic engineering have given us answers to problems that we thought were never, ever going to be on the horizon. We've made tremendous inroads. We're funding some of the greatest technology in the world. And in my lifetime, I will see the cure. I'm being guaranteed that by the researchers and the scientists in this country today through DNA.
People who watch me would be critical if I didn't ask you about those who say that you sometimes bring these kids out and make them objects of pity, that you use these children in an inappropriate way. And I know that this is a very small area. But you know, Jerry, there are always the negative people, and I'd just like you to speak to this point. I mean, I know what your answer is, and I support your answer. But for those who criticize you for the telethon, what is your answer for them?
My answer is simple, Tom. I'm dealing in life and death. I'm watching children that would not have had a chance had it not been for what we have supplied researchers with. I will not be deterred. No one's going to stop me. Splinter groups that think what I do is wrong cannot stop my forward motion. It's that simple.
We're with Jerry Lewis, who joins us from CBS in New York, who's one of the stars of Damn Yankees on Broadway. You can join us on the toll-free at 1-800-95-CBS-TV. Back after a short break and these messages. Number 666 got a big laugh here in the studio in Southern California, Jerry. Very, very funny.
That's great.
Here's Bill on the toll-free in Delta, Ohio. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, Bill.
Good evening to you. I wanted to ask Jerry, now that he's kind of fulfilled a lifetime dream of performing on Broadway, what his next big endeavor is, if he has one, or what he would like to do that he hasn't already done in his lifetime.
I'd love to be a Viking.
And why is that, Jerry?
I'm kidding. This is about it. It doesn't get any better than this. But Tom, I have to tell you something I didn't tell you. I have been such a fan from the very first time I ever saw you on NBC. And I come into New York and I sit with Jason Weinberg, my press representative, and I'm looking at this slew of stuff that I'm going to do selling Damn Yankees.
Right.
And I said, I don't see Tom Snyder here. So they said, well, Tom's in L.A. I said, I don't want to know about it. I'm doing Tom Snyder. I need to do that. I've been a tremendous fan. I watched them all through the CNBC series, and I need to do it. Now, tonight, they told me you're going to sit around for 2.5 hours waiting to do it, and I had to keep my mouth shut. But I just wanted you to know, I love the show.
In other words, what do you mean? I don't need to do this guy that bad. You don't remember this, but I told the crew here, when I was a kid out here working at Channel 5, it was owned by Paramount Pictures at the time, and you were making something on the Paramount lot, and they sent me down there to interview Jerry Lewis. And I got there, and you would have no way of remembering this. You were so kind to me and so kind to the crew. I mean, every time that I have ever asked anybody associated with you to do anything at all, you've been there for me. And I'd like people to know that. You're one of the good guys in this business. And most people who know you, all people who know you, share that opinion. More people should know you as we do who work in this business. Anyway, Bill, thanks for calling.
Well, thank you. Jerry's really kind of made me happy throughout the years. I've always admired his Night Professor movie I've enjoyed that quite immensely.
Well, thank you, Bill.
I think you've made a lot of people happy, and you'll probably continue doing that the rest of your lifetime. And I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
That's the plan.
Bill, Bill, thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Okay. You know what's obvious as I listen to people talk to you and read about you? You're family in this country. I mean, you've entertained this country for I don't know how many generations, but you and, by the way, the fellow you used to work with are family to us.
Yeah.
How is the fellow you used to work with?
He's doing fine. He's happy because he's a recluse, and I check on him constantly to see how he's doing, and he's doing better. He's doing fine. He's happy with his lifestyle, and we must respect what he likes for him, and I do. He's doing fine.
He's not a very public man, is he?
No, he's always been a recluse. I guess that he and I got closer to Dean than anybody in his life, including his family. And he was always very, very, very much a loner. And our relationship developed some stuff within him that he never expected, and it was 10 wonderful years. But I'm concerned about his well-being, naturally. I love him very much, and he's going to be fine.
Looking back on it, you know, you're 69 years old today.
Yes.
You know, we're all getting wiser and older. Was 10 years too short a time to work with Dean Martin?
No, it was perfect. The timing was perfect. I think that we broke out of that at the time that we would have liked Joe Louis to have quit before he got knocked through the ropes. We knew that we were coming to a time when it would have been, the magnificence of what we had would have been diminished in time. And I think we both got off at the right time for both of us as individuals.
You know, you almost met by chance in Atlantic City when somebody got fired or didn't show up, and
Right.
you and Dean Martin were working separately, and all of a sudden the axe meshed and you became Martin and Lewis.
Yeah.
Magical, wasn't it, when you look back on it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a great period. And the people, when we split, they were really very upset with both of us. How dare you disrupt this wonderful thing we had going? So we were very nervous about what would happen to us individually, but it worked fine. We were very, very blessed, both of us.
On the toll-free, Catherine, Rochester, New York. Hi.
Hi, how are you, Tom?
I'm fine, Catherine. Hope you are. Thanks for calling. Here's Jerry.
Oh, well, could I first say how much I enjoy watching Tom from the Tomorrow Show?
Yes, you can. I appreciate that, Catherine. Thank you.
Anyway, my happy birthday to Jerry, and
Thank you.
I'm very much interested in it. If there's a particular show that you and Dean did together that you liked.
I think I liked everything that Dean and I did, particularly.
I enjoyed every one I saw.
Well,
I know I saw a lot of them.
we did some silly stuff. As a matter of fact, you can see most of the things we did together on the 5 shows that Disney's running. They run them pretty. They're scheduling them now almost every month.
On the Disney Channel?
Yes, on Disney Channel. And we made 5 shows of some of the highlights of the golden age of comedy, and I'm producing 5 more for Disney in the not-too-distant future.
When you look at those pictures of you and Dean, and this goes back now 40 years.
Sure. Oh,
40
yeah.
years. Do you ever look at the screen and say, geez, what happened to these 2 young guys? You know? When you think of it, Jerry, my goodness.
I'm sitting with my 3-year-old daughter who says, "What's Daddy doing with that man?" And the fun I'm having, when I was putting the 5 Golden Age of Comedy films together, she'd be with me. She's never apart from me, my miracle daughter. And she would love, and then she would ask me to impersonate what she saw on the screen. I was 18 or 19 years old at the time, and there's this 68-year-old jumping up and down in the living room like a damn baboon, and she's having the time of her life.
Yeah, and so are you, pal.
You bet. You bet.
Catherine, thanks for watching, hun.
I wanted to congratulate Jerry on his new show on Broadway, and I hope he really enjoys his run.
I'm having the best time of my life. Thank you very much.
Certainly sounds like it.
All
Yes.
right. Hey, Catherine, you're up there in Rochester. Get on the Amtrak and come on down, kid.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
All right. See you soon, Catherine.
Give me the money first.
Catherine.
If you play your cards right, lady,
We don't
there's
give
a
here, we
crew here
program.
that'll chip in.
Good night, Catherine. Thanks.
Good night. Thank
Bye-bye
you.
now. Back for a few more moments here with Jerry Lewis at 800-95 CBS TV. I'm Tom, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Last lesson, piano placing.
Remember that night, Jerry?
Oh, my God. That's cruel, Tom. That's cruel.
Oh, celebrate it, my friend. It's our lives. Celebrate that.
Yes, I will.
It was so innocent then, you know. Television was so innocent, and the people on it were so innocent. It was simple entertainment then.
Yes, well, I think that the technology today is such that it kind of puts you off a little bit. But if you really think about it, and you recognize that the miracle of this technology is bringing you into so many people's homes, it's really something to be awestruck by, really.
Except that in that day, a program would never have gone on the air. You know, they had this program. I even hate to comment on this. I had a call from one of the magazines, and they said, Tom, would you comment on the Jenny Jones show where the guy got shot? I said, I don't want to get involved in that. But back in 1964, that wasn't what television was. It was pure and simple information and entertainment, and not some of these wacko themes that we see discussed day in and day out in the afternoon.
Well, you're going to run out of what to do in a medium such as this. Now that we have 24 hours a day with 164 channels, they're going to have to put something on it. And unfortunately, some of the seedy material is going to get amongst some of the quality. You know that, and I know that.
Here is Elaine on the toll-free in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, Elaine. Speak up speak up just a bit.
Okay, I
Thanks.
have enjoyed your program.
Thank you.
For many years.
Thank you.
Mr. Lewis,
Yes, ma'am.
I can tell you I have got to be your all-time #1 fan. I don't think there's a movie you ever made that I haven't seen.
Well, thank you.
And by the way, happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
My husband's birthday is also the 15th of March.
The 16th?
Oh, I thought it was 15th. Okay.
No, 16th.
Where Jerry is now, it's the 16th. Where we
Yes.
are, it's still
Right.
the 15th. Once
Right.
again, Jerry Lewis is a day ahead of the rest of the country.
Isn't that something?
I hope you get a chance to come to New York and see Damn Yankees. You're in for a real treat if you come.
Well, I plan on coming in April.
Okay, we'll be
But
there.
I was just wondering, are we ever going to get the chance to read about your life? Are you ever going to write a story of your life?
I'd like to live one first.
But you did a book some years back, a
Yes.
semi-autobiography.
Yeah, up to that point in
Yeah.
my life, yes. But it's not complete. I don't know. I really don't know. I think that I'm so busy now having such a good time, I can't think that far ahead.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Elaine,
I hope
thank you
I'll
for
see you in
joining
New
us.
York, Elaine. Thank you.
I think in that book you talked about, you had some regrets that you quit high school, that you didn't finish up your education.
Yes, I had regrets early on, but I have had the greatest education in the world. I've been working very, very closely with people in my adult years that have given me a Brandeis University scholarship.
Right.
By the mere contact. I mean, I have friends like Dr. Michael DeBakey, Walter Anderson, Jonas Salk, people that teach me, I learn from. Great, great people in this country that I am constantly in touch with, that inform me. And where would anyone get that chance to call on these people for information and a learning process that's beyond anyone's comprehension?
In reading about you this afternoon and in reading about you over the years, you've received many, many accolades. In fact, I believe at one time you were a nominee for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Right.
But I read that you received an award in commemoration of Hubert Humphrey, the late senator from Minnesota, former vice president of the United States.
Right.
And I'm just wondering, did you ever get to spend any time with Hubert Humphrey? Did you know him?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I spent some time with him in Washington, and he was a very, very meaningful player in getting some inroads made for the Muscular Dystrophy Association through some of his friends in Washington. He was a very, very important man who played a marvelous role in our growth process.
One of the reasons that I loved him so much, Jerry, is he always seemed to enjoy being Hubert Humphrey. Remember, he would make these long speeches
Yes.
in the Senate, and he always had a smile. I mean, he just loved being in the Senate. He loved being vice president. He loved the whole thing.
Well, then you got to come and see the Hubert Humphrey of Damn Yankees. That's what I'm doing. I'm having the best time. I mean, I'm doing an impression of him on that stage every night.
Now, how long will you be in the show? What are you signed up for? Can you tell us?
I'm doing 6 months in New York. We stopped to do Telethon 95. Then I go on the national tour 2 weeks after the telethon, and we do it for a year. We're negotiating for doing the film after we finish the national tour, which will take us to December of 96. I then will finish that by February of 97 and open it in London till February of 98.
Jeez.
And then we will take it to Paris.
Yeah,
It's a terrible way to make a fortune, I can tell you that.
Jerry, it's good of you to stay up. I know you wanted to come on this show, but I know the weight was something you didn't figure on. So
It was okay, Tom.
Okay, my friend.
I appreciate you letting me plug the show, and it was a joy for me to see you on your new program, and I wish you a lot of mazel.
Hey, brother, can you spare a dime?
Anytime for you, Tom.
Talk to you, my friend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, good night, Jerry. Jerry
Good night.
Lewis, folks, from CBS in New York City. I should have asked Jerry what studio he was in there.
Yes.
Can we put him back up for a second?
Yes, he's back up.
Oh,
The Dan Rather Studio.
okay. Can they widen out? Is this a big studio or?
No, small studio.
Well,
It's a small studio that's just off the big Dan Rather and Connie Chung studio.
Oh, the big Dan, rather.
The big Dan Rather and Connie Chung
Well, God, could-
Whispering Studio.
Yeah.
over there.
Could we widen out and just see how small it is? Oh, there's no
There's
cameraman.
no cameraman. Oh, you want to see what a good cameraman you got here?
Yeah.
How's it going? So these two Jews actually